Did you feel like a king?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's fun to be king, I tell you. No. The main thing for me, playing the role, why it was so much fun for me was because he as a person, Ying Shou as a character, he has no qualms. And this is you can say it's a sociopathic tendency, but really he's very, very self-centered. All he cares about is what he wants, how can he get it, who around him can he use to get it. I mean, these are all the things that occurred to him in his mind, that's all. So in some ways, it's great fun to play somebody like that because we in our daily lives, especially for Chinese people, I mean, Chinese culture is so much about not putting yourself first. Chinese culture is always about putting other people first. And when you're a child, you put your mother and father first. And then you put your family, your children first. And then you're taking care of your grandparents. So for somebody like a character like this is quite in violation of most Chinese values. But for me as an actor, it was quite exciting to play it because it's so far from my own kind of habits, and I quite enjoyed it. I have to say it was quite enjoyable, yes.
Do you feel like you're on a theater stage in a way?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was a huge advantage for all of the actors, myself included, that we had a lot of actual physical sets. The CGI parts are there, but we mostly had real environments in which to perform, which was super important. But I mean, really the detail in these sets, I mean, I think that you can see some of it in the film, but for me being on set, I could see every detail. I mean, Tim just mentioned that there were 600 carvers, wood carvers. In my palace, the chamber, the main chamber where I received the guests, where the throne is. I mean, that every wooden screen, every pillar was all hand carved wood. I mean, all hand carved. It's like amazing. So when I was there seeing it, it was just so awe-inspiring and inspiring to me as an actor. But at the same time, I also had to put those feelings aside. The one location where we had the outdoors, where we had the the coronation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the coronation scene. That is actually physically real. The size of it was so huge. It was enormous, and we had 1,000 actors in there, just playing all the instruments and the extras and the dancing and the altar in the middle. But that coronation scene, I mean, for me, seeing it was so amazing. It was just so huge. But as an actor, I have to kind of fight against that and think, well, Ying Shou grew up in this environment. He grew up running around in the Longde Dian as a child, so it should all be like nothing to him. It's like his living room, so so I had to get over it quick.
Did you feel like a king?
Oh, absolutely. It's fun to be king, I tell you. No, you put on the robes. I mean, Tim's costumes also. I mean, he designed not only all the sets, every prop, every sword, every cup, goblet, everything. And every, costume of every character. So, in all 3 films, I have 20 costumes, 20 different costumes. And every single one of them is, hand-stitched, hand-embroidered, beautiful detail. And I have to tell you, it's very realistic as well. It's layers and layers and layers. I have the most inner layer because he did everything according to historical research, because that's his way of working. And so I had the proper undergarments, then the layer, then another layer, then another layer, then another layer. And by the time I had it all on, it was 800 pounds. I mean, honestly, I really barely moved. The coronation costume was so heavy because it's all beaded with real stones, real jade, ornaments, everything. So it's inspiring as an actor when you see these things around you and you're working with props and things that are so detailed. It helps you. It imbues the character in every way. So I really appreciate Tim's work. It's so great.
Most reviled character in the entire Chinese mythology.
He is reviled, but actually the truth is that Ying Shou was a real person. He was a real king. of the Shang dynasty. I mean, really infamous in Chinese history, partly because of this work of literature, 封神演义, which was written in the Ming dynasty. And this story kind of encapsulated, mythologized his whole character, and also brought in the fox demon as an actual character, and something of a cause of his evil, which is something that our film version of this story, this famous story for Chinese people, our version slightly alters that narrative. And it takes some of the responsibility for all of Ying Shou's historical atrocities away from the woman, the fox demon, and more toward his own person. And he was a great warrior in history, a real king, and on the battlefield, indomitable, and apparently very intelligent, very talented, a smart person, but he was also had serious sociopathic tendencies, I'm sure, and he was quite extreme in some of the atrocities he committed in terms of human sacrifice, in terms of the way he treated prisoners of war in ancient China. So this is a very interesting and controversial character.